Yesterday morning at 2:41 a.m. at General Eisenhower's headquarters, General Jodl, the representative of the German High Command, and of Grand Admiral Dönitz, the designated head of the German state, signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces in Europe to the Allied Expeditionary Forces and simultaneously to the Soviet High Command. Hostilities will end officially at 1 minute after midnight tonight, Tuesday, the 8th of May. We may allow ourselves a brief period of rejoicing. Today is Victory in Europe Day. Tomorrow will also be Victory in Europe Day. We must now devote all our strength and resources to the completion of our tasks, both at home and abroad. Advance Britannia. Long live the cause of freedom. God save the King.
3, 2, 1, live.
Hello! Welcome. It's VE Day. I hope you're all suitably bedecked in red, white and blue and have your houses decorated, etc. My son says that I went overboard a wee bit, but I was happy. Sure, that's all that matters. What are you doing today? Tell me what you're doing today. Who all have we got on? Hi, everyone. I can see a whole wreck of you joining in. Are you doing anything or what are you up to? Who says they can't see me? Roy Patterson, can you see me now?
We can now.
I'm just seeing the subtitles that's there and it just says, I hope you're all dead and red. I don't know what that's about. What has the weather been like around your place? Look, I've got my Union Jack and everything to flag. What has the weather been like out around your place? What have you been doing? Hope you've been enjoying yourself so far. We're out for the 2-minute silence. I also hope you are going to be watching Her Majesty later on this afternoon, later on this evening, etc. And in the meantime, we have a fantastic show lined up for you with nothing but war-related tunes. A combination of First World War and Second World War, I have to say, but there's some super cracking tunes. And we're going to start, as always, with the bands who should have had the parade tonight. So tonight, the 8th of May, should have been parades for Pride of Knockmore, Hillhaven, and up in Limavady, Star of the Row. So we're going to go to Lisburn, first of all, for Pride of Knockmore. They are playing a little tune called Goodbye Dolly. Now, what I want to try and do is where I can give you a little bit of background information on each of these tunes today so that you kind of sort of like know why we're playing them. So they're playing Goodbye Dolly, which actually was created for the Boer War and was really popular in the music halls. But because it was becoming, you know, very popular in the culture and all that sort of stuff, it came back round again for the First World War and then subsequently the Second World War. And the verse or the chorus, I think, is probably why it stuck so much with the soldiers in both world wars. It says, "Goodbye, Dolly, I must leave you, though it breaks my heart to go. Something tells me I am needed at the front to fight the foe. See the boys in blue are marching and I can no longer stay. Hark, I hear the bugle calling, goodbye, Dolly Gray." So I want you all to sing that while we listen to Pride of Knockmore play it. Enjoy. Pride of Knockmore there. And of course, it should have been their parade this evening. Do you all like my bow? I do have another one with the crown on it, which I thought, you know, like I'll not not try to rival Elizabeth this evening, but I thought this is an attire from Derry Day. And of course, I've got all my little posters and my bunting and my flags and everything. I hope you all have too. I had a lot of fun this morning decorating the outside of the house. My son says I've gone a little bit overboard. I posted the photographs on the page, so please post your photographs so I can see what all you've been doing and the fun you've been having decorating as well, because, you know, what else have we got at the minute? And if you have been having any street parties, of course, make sure you're social distancing, but send us pictures of those as well and tell us where all you're at and what all you're doing. We'd really, really love to hear what you're all doing. Somebody said they loved my bow. Who was it? Oh, I can't find it. It's way. Eddie said he loved this. Yes, I'm very proud of this one. This is a Derry Day relic. So on to our next band. Tonight also should have been the parade for Hillhaven Flip Band, and they would have been having a parade in the Portadown area. Now, this clip is a clip actually from Ulster Day, where they are taking part in the Anchor Psalm parade for Ulster Day. They have that every year, and please feel free to go down and take part in that there. It's really something we should be marking more than we currently do. This is them playing two very, very popular songs. They started off as musical hall songs again in about 1915, and then they again became very, very popular with, you know, started the people who went to music halls, and obviously when they went to war, those went away with it. And it was always really a good way of boosting morale for the war. They are playing Pack Up Your Troubles in Your Old Kit Bag and Long Way to Tipperary. And when you listen to them, you can kind of get why it really boosted the morale and got the blood flowing. Enjoy these two. Fantastic there from Hellhaven. Apparently the subtitles are back this week. Roy, I think you've put them on or whatever you're doing, just for pure badness. And to the delight of you all, LYD are appearing on the show today. So remind me not to pronounce their full name, okay? So where are we going to now? We are going up to Limavady this time, because tonight should also have been the parade of Star of the Row. Always love the parades up there in Limavady. Great family atmosphere at them, and really, really nice to go and watch. Always get a good attendance. They are playing a little tune called Grimsby Chums. Now, Grimsby Chums, in the First World War, what ended up happening was, for Kitchener's army, whole towns, whole workplaces all enlisted together, so that when they went and fought in the battlefields, they were all fighting together as well. And the Grimsby Chums were a First World War battalion raised in around, obviously, the town of Grimsby in 1914. When the battalion was taken over by the British Army, it was officially named the 10th Service Battalion, the Lincolnshire Regiment. But it's the only PALS battalion to ever have been called Chums. So this is the Grimsby Chums, played by Star of the Row Flute Band. Quite an unusual one there, but one that not a lot of bands play, I have to say. There's Gertrude Starr's another one that I can think of that play that one, and it's a really, really nice tune. Now, one of the organisations that everyone knows, which is related to the war and ex-military members, is of course the British Legion. And believe it or not, they support nearly 36,000. I don't know how that's going to work out in subtitles, but they support 36,000 war disablement pension cases for war veterans and make around 300,000 welfare visits each year. I mean, that's a staggering amount of ex-vets who are looking assistance. So when it comes to Poppy Day, and of course the whole year round, I buy a lot of stuff off their website. So please do support the Royal British Legion on their website. But they were formed in 1921 after World War I, believe it or not. And it was Field Marshal Haig was involved. He was obviously the commander at the Somme and Passchendaele, and he was one of the founders of it. So he served as the president, obviously, of it until his death. But it also has a fantastic march. And I can remember a way back, a long time ago, when I was in Dunloy, I used to listen to the Royal Albert Hall every year. I was glued to it, and they always played this fantastic march whenever the Royal British Legion colour standards all come in from all the different regions. So I eventually figured out what the march was called, got the music, and arranged it for Dunloy. I'm not sure whether this is the same arrangement they're playing now. It's maybe changed over the years, but it's a fantastic march, and I really do hope you enjoy this one. This is the Royal British Legion March, played by Dunloy Band. Cracking march. Good though the accordions are, I still prefer the rendition. Now, you've never heard me say this one before. I love the rendition of the band, the combined band there in the Royal Albert Hall. It just there's just something about it and the flags and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, where are we going to go now? Now we're going to go back. Well, we've already played this tune, and I don't know how I managed to get two so close together, the same, but it's completely different. This is Dunamoney Flute Band and A Blood and Thunder playing Pack Up Your Troubles in Your Old Kit Bag. It's a lovely arrangement for it again, and it's always nice to hear the different takes on it. And it's actually these two tunes, Pack Up Your Troubles in Your Old Kit Bag and It's a Long Way to Tipperary, were two of the most popular tunes. We could find dozens upon dozens upon dozens of bands playing them, but so it was really, really hard to pick out which ones we would feature in the show. But I really like this one. This is Dunamoney, as I say, playing it. Actually, this tune won a wartime contest for marching songs. This went on to feature in an American show called Her Soldier Boy as well. So this is Dunamoney and Pack Up Your Troubles. great there from David U. Pritchard, who is obviously from Hillhaven. Sorry. Says, Hillhaven's was better. What do you think? I must remain neutral at all times. Now, we're going to go for a little bit of melody now. Although they're officially a melody band, I don't know. There's a lot more than just melody flute and F flute coming through in this version. This is Pride of Ballinran, and they are playing a wonderful march by the Royal Marines called Victory in Europe. What more appropriate day could we have for playing that march than today? This is actually an arrangement completed by Nigel Edgar, and I love the way that they have done up this video for today, and they have included lots of relevant clips for VE Day. So enjoy watching this. I certainly did. So I really enjoyed that there. A, musically, and B, with all the clips that they added to it as well. It just really makes it, and it kind of gives you a little bit of the flavour of what VE Day was like 75 years ago. Though, of course, they were able to socialise a little bit more than we are able to. But I think the same kind of spirit is there of cooperation and everybody working together. So it's really, really nice. Superb. I'd never ever heard that march before, and it was actually William Mullen had posted it, and I had a wee listen, and I thought, oh, that's really good. And I love the way you get little bits of Keep the Home Fires Burning and everything coming through that there. So it's really, really nice. Now, I have lots and lots of favorite music, and if you listen to this more than once, you will know that this is one of my favoriteest songs. It is called The Shores of Normandy. Now, we're not going to play the song tonight, but if you get a chance, do a little YouTube, and I'll maybe post a link on afterwards to Jim Radford, the gentleman who composed and wrote this song. Singing it. There's a fantastic version of him at singing it in the Royal Albert Hall. He was actually the youngest known veteran of the D-Day landings in Normandy on the 6th of June, and he was just 15. So he was a galley boy in the Merchant Navy, and he was on board a vessel which were responsible for building the Mulberry harbours. So last year, myself and my son took, we tend to go to the Somme before the 1st of July, but this year we sort of took a few days beforehand and did a tour of the D-Day beaches. Amazing. I highly recommend you do it if you ever get the chance. And then we managed to be at the Ulster Tower for the 1st of July. But one of the places, of course, that in Arromanches, that the Mulberry base harbours are still there, and I mean, when you're standing beside them, they are enormous, absolutely enormous. And to think that these were towed across the sea, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. But the idea of like a 15-year-old, I mean, my son will be 15 in December, and the idea of him being on board a boat in the middle of a war helping to build these is just mind-blowing. So what we've got here is actually Shankhill Protestant Boys. You will recognize the tune because it's a very common tune. It's used as a tune for quite a few songs, but this here is Shankhill Protestant Boys playing the song for Shores of Normandy. Now, I know there are lots of other songs which are based on the same tune, but definitely I recommend get a chance to listen to the Jim Radford Shores of Normandy. It's amazing. Now, we cannot have a show about wartime military marches without featuring something by Kenneth Alford. He was known as the British March King. And this is something I didn't know about him. He actually joined the Royal Irish Regiment in 1895 as a band boy. What a brilliant position in an army, a band boy. But this is one of his very famous marches played by Hamilton Flute Band. And this is on the quarterdeck. And of course, the quarterdeck is related to the Navy and all of those obvious connotations. But this is by Kenneth Alford. I think I'll tell you later on what his real name was. That wasn't his real name, but enjoy his march anyway. brilliant clip there. Such the quality of the video is not great. It's not very clear, but you have to remember that clip came back from 1994, and technology wasn't just as good. In 30 years' time, people will be looking at clips of us and going, "Oh, it's really, really bad quality." But let's go next to East Belfast and have the magnificent Proddy Boys. I haven't seen China on yet there. He's missing me playing East Belfast Protestant Boys. And really, this next tune needs no explanation. It is the US Marines. Did you notice the guy in the side of the pavement with the check shirt? I think he's maybe had too many fizzy lemonades. China has apparently got a delivery of Club Orange biscuits, so that's not why he's with us today. Good for him. He's been looking for them. A couple of requests to shout out to, and to say hello to Mags and Billy in Port Glasgow, and that comes from Ray and Karina McHugh. And I'm also to give a shout out to Hazel Brownlow, who's listening in Money Day, and that is from Harry Hogan, Canada. Now, where are we going to go next? We're going to go for another repeat, but I just couldn't not play this one. This is a very recent recording, obviously, and it's a one of the coronavirus enforced Zoom recordings, but it's absolutely fantastic. Now, the tune that they're playing is A Long Way to Tipperary. Now, we've heard it before in the flutes, but now we're going to hear it on the silver, so it should be really, really something special. Believe it or not, the tune was actually written for a 5-shilling bet way back in 1912, and it was performed the next night at a local music hall, so that's pretty good going. And it became popular among soldiers in the First World War, and then the correspondent for the Daily Mail saw the Irish regiment, the Connaught Rangers, singing it as they marched through Bologna in 1914, and it was then very quick. He reported on it, obviously, and it was then really, really quickly picked up by the rest of the British Army. So the Connaught Rangers started off the trend of singing It's a Long Way to Tipperary, and this is the Zoom recording of Rogan Silver Band.
From New York City's Times Square to London's Piccadilly Circus to Moscow's Red Square, the victorious Allies celebrated the end of the war in Europe. But the surrender would not go into effect officially until May 8th. President Harry Truman declared May 8th as VE Day, Victory in Europe Day.
Buckingham Palace, where this time Churchill was to stand on the famous balcony with the royal family, to share with them a nation's joy. In the midst of many great events. We know that in the days when war seems remote and far away, these will be historic pictures. They will tell another generation how England celebrated Victory in Europe Day.
Brilliant, wasn't it? And I love all the little clips as well. The really interesting thing was that the subtitles, I was watching them there as your guy was speaking in the clips, and it got his perfect. So why can it not understand me? Why is it getting me wrong? I do not know. Now, one of the things that I did before the show or earlier in the week was I looked out a whole list of, you know, what the popular songs was in the 1940s. I also looked out, you know, what the British Army war or marches were, the Australian marches, the Army marches and all that there. And one of them was a wonderful tune called The Girl I Left Behind Me. Now, actually, believe it or not, dates back away to the Elizabethan era and was said to be played when soldiers left for war or on a Navy vessel. And really, it was really, really popular in the US war, who adopted it during the American, or the US Army, who adopted it during the American Civil War because they heard a British prisoner singing it. So they used it as a marching tune throughout the 19th century. And then Glenn Miller in the Second World War, he actually overlaid it in through his arrangement of American Patrol as well. So it became popular in the Second World War. And this is being played by South Belfast Young Conquerors. It's a really nice arrangement. It works. It's not the way you normally are used to hearing it played, but it absolutely is The Girl I Left Behind Me. brilliant there. And of course, going into the Isle Orange flute at the end of it. So we're keeping the Orange connection alive in there as well. Now, we were going to, a few people have asked me and commented there to play Killadook's Pipes version of When the Battle's Over, because it is sung by their female piper who also does some songs for them as well, and it's a really, really good version. But I wanted to play this one. I think I've actually posted it on the page previously, but I wanted to play this one because it's obviously the full band. But this is Ballybreast Pipe Band playing that very famous Scottish tune When the Battle's Over. It was, of course, sang by Andy Stewart, and the lyrics of it go, let me just get this up here. I return to the fields of glory where the green grasses and flowers go, and the wind softly tells the story of the brave lads of long ago. Beautiful piece of music, and I hope you enjoy this version by Ballybreast. What? Flowers? Are you on about the way I say flowers and ires? I wondered what you were on about there.
Would I do something like that, Valerie?
Yes, you would. Enjoy Ballybreast. nice there. And of course, great social distancing there from Ballybreeze Pipe Band while playing that tune. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, one of the real things which influenced what the soldiers took away to the war was obviously the films and so on of that time and the music of that time. And one of the films featured this song, which became very, very popular with obviously the troops and the guys as they went away, as much for the tune as for the sentiment, because the tune is, of course, Keep the Home Fires Burning. Now, this is a version played by Shankill Road Defenders. I think it's a super version, and I think you'll agree with me once you hear it.
I'm recording this, by the way.
Great there from Shankill Road Defenders, and Eddie out in the front on the mace for a change. Looking well, Eddie there, looking well. Couple of wee requests here. Irvine McCabe wants me to give you a big shout out to him. He's watching in Lisburn. And Adrian would like me to say a big shout out to his wife, Pam McIlvenna, who is going to the Victoria Hospital to work as a nurse. So well done, Pam there. And our thanks go from all of us, obviously. And also Stephen Stafford, who is watching in Liverpool. Hello. And Ruben Wilson has just said he's in Metacan in Garva. Oh, so far away, Ruben. Now, the next tune, again, it's one of these ones that we've played before, and I do apologize for that there, but I had promised these guys, they had let me know that they were doing this in advance of today, and I had promised them I would play it. So I'm afraid you're going to get another rendition of It's a Long Way to Tipperary and Pack Up Your Troubles, but this time it's by the accordions. So I think we've had the flutes, haven't we? And we've had the brass. And now we're getting the accordion. So let's see who we think is the best. This is Bailey's Mills accordion with It's a Long Way to Tipperary and Pack Up Your Troubles. hope you were all singing along there. They even were so kind to put the words up in the middle of it for you. So I suppose it depends. Maybe it's a wee bit early for a few beers, but depends how many of those you've had, how good you're singing. Now, the next tune was a fantastic find by Lisa. This is an brilliant, and I absolutely love these two tunes. And this is Robert Graham Memorial playing them. This is Who Do You Think You Are Kidding, Mr. Hitler? I'm sure you all remember that from Dad's Army. And also it's followed by My Old Man, which I think has been sort of taken over or hijacked by Linfield supporters, or is it Korean supporters? I'm not too sure. I think both of them use it. But enjoy this. This is Who Do You Think You're Kidding, Mr. Hitler? My Old Man, both by Robert Graham Memorial. A lovely little non-entity there just commenting on the page. So I'm just trying to just block it, hide it first, and then block and ban. Okay, it's the only way to deal with it. Right, now where are we going to now? Oh, fantastic clip coming next. Now, this is a massed melody flute band. So if you're into your melody flute bands, you will absolutely adore this one. And one of my favorite marches, one of the many favorite marches I have. This is an orchestral piece of music created by or composed by Ron Goodwin. And he did it in the military march style for the 1969 soundtrack of the film Battle of Britain. And it plays in the opening sequence of the film. It was originally entitled the Luftwaffe March. So many people think this is actually German, but it's not. It was created by British composer purposely in the style of the German military bands, and it was done intentionally. So it is actually a British march, even though it was called Luftwaffe March. It starts in, it's a lovely tune to play in its original key. It starts in 4 flats, then down to 3, then to 4 flats, and then finally ends up in 5 flats. So it's not 5 flats and then into 4. So it's not the easiest to play in its original key, but it's a fantastic piece of music. I actually was reading somewhere earlier on that one of the brass bands played it whenever the Queen was opening the German embassy, and it was considered a faux pas because it is, of course, a British march and not a German one. But this is the masked bands in Londonderry, and I know we've done it previously on one of the shows where William King, Black Skull, and a lot of Churchill, a lot of all the bands formed together, and this is them playing, of course, Aces High. One of the shows where William King, absolutely brilliant. I was just watching there, going through the video, and I could see Orange and Blue New Buildings. I could see Star of the Row, obviously William King, Black Skull, Churchill, Hamilton. Fantastic to see them all coming together. And some year I am going to stay behind after the main parade and get watching them coming back to the fountain, because it really just does look brilliant. Now, our next, another favourite of mine, sorry. Now, I only knew of one band who played this march, and it was UVF Regimental. I don't know if they still play it, but they definitely did play it. And there is a fantastic clip of them playing on the internet. So I was really, really wanting to play that in our show today. But the Regimental are also one of the bands who have more war melodies and war-related tunes and marches than any other band that I know. So I was really, really stuck for choice. And I was saying to Lisa and Roy, like, can I do two of the one band on the same night? You know, can I break my own rules just for these pieces of music? So eventually Lisa found this clip, which I couldn't believe. I genuinely didn't know anyone else played this. It's a fantastic march, cracker of a march, that Prussian Glory. And I was really shocked to know that Ulster Grenadiers also played it. So this is their version of Prussian Glory, and it is followed by another war-related march, British Grenadiers. Brilliant. Was all chuffed whenever Lisa found that, because it means I can get my Prussian Glory and I can also get another selection from the Regimental later on. So I was more than happy. Now, another, oh my goodness, you're going to think that all of the marches are my favourite. But again, I love this one. I really, really do love this one. This is Churchill Flute Band playing this in 2014 in, let me see, I can't even see the side of my screen there. In Armadale. I couldn't see the words. This one here, Blankenberg, Herman Blankenberg wrote this when he was 18, and he submitted it. He originally called it the Deutschland Fürsten, which is called the Germans' Princess. But he submitted it to Hawks and Son, Boozley Hawks, who publish all the brass band music, and he submitted it in for a march competition in 1904, and he won. They selected it from over 500 marches, and he got the first prize. And they said that they would publish it on the condition that the name could be changed from Deutschland Fürsten, German's Princess, to Abschied de Gladiatoren. I'm not going to make it in Germany, that's for sure. Abschied de Gladiatoren, in other words, the gladiators farewell. And this is a fantastic version of it, played by Churchill. brilliant there. I'm just sitting thinking, Roy was saying that you think that all of my march, all the music is my favorite march. So someday I'm going to do a show completely comprised of my favorite tunes. Yeah, it may take some time. It really may take some time. Mary, yes, I am seeing your comments, Mary. However, I'm trying to do some other things at the same time. I'm making notes and reading out all that sort of stuff. So yes, I do see them. I saw that you're cooking and listening to us at the same time. And I also saw your comment about the Crumlin band. We will find a clip for them if we possibly can. I apologize that last week's wasn't the one that you were looking for. Scott, you have missed Ballymena Protestant Boys. We played them earlier in the program. You missed them completely. Ah, dear. Also want to give a shout out to Ian MacArthur, who is watching from Glasgow, and also David and Anne Galbraith Jelly, who is watching from Bourneheath in Bromsgrove. Welcome. Hope you are enjoying our marching bands. Scott, you didn't miss them. I just haven't them on the program tonight. You would have them on every night at all. Now, of course, when we were fighting the world wars, we weren't on our own. We had our allies, and we also had the Americans. So here to play two of the famous American marches, or the most famous American marches, are White Rock Flute Band, and they are playing Anchors Aweigh and Stars and Stripes. Just watching the video there going along with it. The guy in the bass drum doesn't walk or march. He like bounces along the whole. Did you watch that? It's really it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. Love it. Now we need to go back to the brass bands again. We've gone too long without a brass band. So this one is Dungannon Silver, and they are playing what is becoming a more and more popular march among flute bands as well. But it's an arrangement called 1914, and it includes once again our old friend Tipperary, but it also includes a tune called Hello, Who's Your Lady Friend and Take Me Back to Blighty, both of which were popular First World War songs by the soldiers. So this is Dungannon Silver Band playing 1914. Brilliant there from Dungannon. Really enjoyed that there. It's not a band I see very often, I have to say, and it's nice to see videos of them. Want to give a shout out to Wesley, and that is from his friend Robert Campbell. Craig says bouncing like County. County, I'd say, is more swagger, Craig, aren't they? I think they're more swagger than that bounce, you man. I'm going to be watching out from that from now on every time I see a video of White Rock. Absolutely brilliant. Robert Goldsmith says it must be almost burger time. I had a VET earlier on. It was just lovely sandwiches and ice cream and all the bits and pieces. So where are we going to? Another favorite march. I'm sorry, another one. This one, I want to tell you a little bit about this because I love sometimes the history behind all of these tunes. Supposedly this tune was inspired by a military man who was also a golfer. And instead of, the way, I don't know much about golf, but apparently when you're out playing golf, when you're about to hit a shot, you shout 4. So instead of shouting 4, he went, hopefully you can hear that. I'm not a very good whistler, but it's that. And if you listen to this tune, it's in throughout this tune. Originally, there was a tune, word set to it. Originally, it was called Goring Has Only Got One Ball because he had a grievous groin injury, was the way Wikipedia put it. But it later became Hitler Has Only Got One Ball, and it became an unofficial national anthem to rudeness among the troops. It is, of course, Colonel Bogey, and this one again was composed by Kenneth Alford. Now, Kenneth Alford is not his real name. His real name is F.J. Ricketts, and at that time, army personnel weren't allowed to have a professional life outside the forces. So what they did was they wrote under pseudonyms, and his was Alford. So this, Kenneth Alford. So this is Skioch Flute Band playing Colonel Bogey. Wee sneaky video there from the Festival of Marching Bands in Ulster. But I'll not tell. It's nice to see the clips now. It seems so long ago, and it's just nice to see the clips of the bands playing now. Now, the next tune, I'm not even going to say it, but I'm playing in it, so therefore that should tell you everything you need to know. So it is, of course, an accordion band. This time it is Brunswick Accordion, and they're playing a fantastic march called Arnhem. Now, just a little bit of the background to Arnhem. Arnhem is, of course, a town in 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 Netherlands. I couldn't speak there. And basically what happened was, after the D-Day beaches, and once they got off the D-Day beaches, they decided that they wanted to move and sweep through and chase the German troops up through the Dutch Gelderland. And this was named Market Garden. So I'm sure you've all heard of, like the Market Garden. So the British 1st Airborne Division landed at Arnhem to secure the bridges, and they landed some distance from their objectives, and they were hampered by resistance and 2 panzer divisions. So only a small force was able to reach the road bridge. So they fought for 4 days, and after 4 days they were overwhelmed, and the rest of the division became trapped in a small pocket north of the river. After 9 days of fighting, they eventually were withdrawn in Operation Berlin, and the 1st Airborne Division lost 3/4 of its strength, and that division didn't see combat again. So to have the name of that battle remembered through music and through popular performance, I think it just keeps their memory to live on, and enables them that battle to be remembered. This is the wonderful Arnhem March by Brunswick Accordion. I'm not even going to say it, but you know I love that wee march. Oh, brilliant there by Brunswick. And Ruth McCann, I think, Ruth, that might have been your first night playing in concert. I could be wrong. I think it is. And also, I do believe that is Joshua Morris standing at the back there beside the cymbal. Joshua, you must have more uniforms than anybody I know. Oh, my goodness. Right, where are we going next? What are we like for time? What are we like for time? We are 17:37. So we've got 40 minutes yet. Yay, or 20 minutes yet. Yeah, some brilliant cracking marches coming up. So this is what I was so spoiled for choice with this band. They just have such a wonderful repertoire of war-related and marches, and oh, I just had so many I could choose from, and it was really, really difficult to narrow this down to one. It is, of course, the UVF Regimental, and this is their medley, in which this very starting tune of it is When Johnny Can March. Johnny, I can't speak, and I haven't even had any beer. What is going on here? This could be the problem. This is When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Brilliant there, as always, from the Regimental. The one thing I always admire about them is that regardless of whether they've a bigger band or smaller band, there's always a fantastic balance there between the parts. And Denise said that I just made Amy's day. Well, I am delighted that you enjoyed that, Amy. I know that that is one of your favourite bands for reasons which, you know, family reasons, I suppose you could say. Now, where are we going now? Well, the one thing I did want to mention, I'm sure you all saw the post that I put on there the other day, which was basically from the Royal Black Association, saying that they are cancelling their 13th of July parade in Scarva and also their Black parades at the end of August. So it's really, really disappointing. And I, like everyone else, I'm absolutely gutted. But the thing about it is I would rather that we were back and that we were safe. And the way that I'm looking at it is if they don't have mass gatherings, the like of football matches and stuff like that there, then there's very little chance of us being able to have a parade. And to be honest, I wouldn't want either the Orange Order or the Black or the Apprentice Boys or anybody like that there having a parade or hosting, or even a band hosting a parade, and then, you know, someone getting ill out of that there. It's you know, it's much more important that we stay safe and listen, come back bigger and better next year, because this is not going to put us down. This is not going to stop us. It's not going to make me any less of a loyalist, and I know it's not going to make you any less of one. And I know that we'll be all absolutely champing at the bit. And you know, if you're really missing it, join a band, get started now, get in contact with the band, get the music off them, get learning at home. It's ideal opportunity. And then the first parade next year, you'll be out there ready to go. Now, Of course, one of the other countries who fought as part of our allies because of the Commonwealth was Australia, and they do a beautiful. There's a beautiful song called "The Band Played Waltzing Matilda," which I absolutely love, and this is a beautiful rendition of it on the flute by Ulster First Flute. The band played "Waltzing Matilda." Yes, Willie McCluskey, it absolutely is a brilliant tune. I love it. Hi also to Clive Canning. My mum wants to know, what have I done to John China to chase him away? I've done absolutely nothing. I even bought bunting off him, and I bought flags off him. It's all festooned out in my garden there, hung across the trees and everything. So I don't know what I've done. He's maybe too busy eating at the moment. He'll have his... He'll have his Club Orange and his wagon wheels, and he'll be sitting down to a wee cup of tea and enjoying those. Now, where are we going now? We're going to go to Omagh now. So, Robert, I hope you're listening. This is Omagh Protestant Boys, and they are playing a wonderful march called Heart of Oak. opinion from Omagh Protestant Boys. And I do believe that the little drum major on there, Stacey, is watching this evening. You didn't know that that was Stacey in the front of that band. Oh, my head's completely gone. My head is completely away with it. Sorry, message come through there. Yeah, Susan, you didn't know that was Stacey at the front of that there. So there's a few of you admiring my bow. Claire asks, have I got my little trolley beside me? Now, what normally happens is when Claire sees me, I'm in Londonderry, and I am carrying I'm wearing a bow, something similar to this here, and I have my little shopping trolley filled with sandwiches and soft drinks and things like that there. Gary said, you're looking the part, Valerie. Keep up the good work, enjoying the bands while sampling a few Amber Nectar up a Blair. Well, I couldn't play Bear Memorial, but I did at least get something from Omagh. Denise wants to know, Valerie, in your accent, what are you trying to say, Denise? Say band poles, flags and drums like the trolley men at the Belfast Praise. Oh, you mean to say I could be doing China instead? You know, like, get your band poles, flags and drums, band poles, flags. That do for me. Dear Lord, what you lot have me doing. Oh my goodness gracious me. Where are we going now? Let's get some music quickly. Now, is the subtitles ready for this? The last time I announced the band, this band came up as Lesbian Younger Flanders. So we'll watch to see what it comes up tonight. This is Lisburn Young Defenders. And I also want to give a big shout out to the piccolo player, Joanne, who is, now the way it was described to me, 21 plus. So you're 21 at least, Joanne. And it was your birthday yesterday. So congratulations. I'm not going to sing to you, but hope you had a wonderful day. This is Lisburn Young Defenders, and a piece that the title just describes it perfectly. It's the Soldiers of the Old Home Guard. My grandfather was in the Home Guard, so I'm really looking forward to this one. So first of all, Lisburn Young Defenders have moved to Lisbon. They are now Spanish, and they are leading the Pride Parade next year. Oh my goodness, the subtitles have their work cut out with them, I have to say. So Colin Campbell, who is watching from Ontario in Canada, I do apologize if you can't understand me very well. But I hope you're enjoying the music, if nothing else, and the mad comments from these idiots who encourage me to do these things. Now, we're coming towards the end of the show, and I have the last two pieces here are, they're both Blood and Thunder bands, but they're wonderful, wonderful pieces of music, and they're connected as well. So the first one was written by a gentleman called Alan Bryden, and he wrote it after a trip to the battlefields in 2004. And he was really impressed by the pipers and the role that they played, particularly in World War I. Not only, you know, like leading the troops, but, you know, keeping their morale up. All of the bits and pieces that the pipers did, you know, letting them know when to advance and all the different things. And of course, the pipers were really, really famous in World War II as well. You know, there's a very, his name's escaped me now. The really famous piper. I've been to his memorial and everything. Oh my goodness. Or is a statue and everything. It'll come to me. But Alan was then approached to use the tune as the fundraising anthem for a new memorial to the fallen Scots in Passchendaele. And he then, that led to him being asked to write another song for the unveiling of the monument. But this is a wonderful version of a tune called Calling Down the Line. And it's the song that Alan wrote to remember those pipers of the First and the Second World War. And this is a version played by Gertrude Starr.
It's okay, folks. Geography is not Valerie's first commitment. She doesn't even realise that she said Lisbon is Spanish when it's actually Portuguese.
I thought you were going to tell me the name of the piper there. I thought you were going to give me some useful information. Portugal, Spain, same thing. Sun, that's all I think of. Enjoy Calling Down the Line, Gertrude Starr. Adrian McElvenna says, I think I should just give up on Lisburn Young Defenders. They are a nightmare for me. They really are. Like, I mean, oh my goodness, I make one little mistake. Well, maybe that's two little mistakes now. Oh my goodness. All you geography experts. Well, the piper from World War II was Piper Bill Millen. I knew, and of course he's connected to Lord Lovat and played famously going over the bridge there in what do you call the bridge? Pegasus. I've been there too. Why has my brain just stopped working this evening? My goodness. Jamie wants me to give out a shout out to David McBride and Dee Dee Docherty, great group of lads. Carl says the tune was in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Could be wrong. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I ever watched Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Not sure at all. Okay, so last tune of the evening, folks. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together. As you can tell, there's been a few of my favourite marches included this evening. And our last tune is another one of Alan Bryden. So as I said, he created Calling Down the Line to raise funds to create the monument, and then obviously it was only natural that whenever the monument was unveiled that he was also asked to write a song for it as well. It has been wonderful being here with you today, this afternoon. It's really strange not being here in the evening, and I hope you have enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed it, and lots of the clips were great with all the wee montages of VA clips in them as well. We were back again tomorrow night at our usual time of 8 p.m. It will be I'd have to get the beer out for then. And thank you for joining us. Have a great day the rest of the day, and don't forget to listen to Her Majesty at 9 p.m. But in the meantime, Roy and I are signing out. This is Kilclunny Volunteers playing On the Road to Passchendaele.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and seal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay? Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth, high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to Henry victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass, There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.